Good morning, and thank you guys for joining us. I'm Dr. Shirlita Amler. I'm the Commissioner of Health for Westchester County, and I'm here to let you know that the Longhorn Tick has arrived in Westchester. The State Health Department has been working with researchers from Fordham University and the Lyme Disease Diagnostic Center of NYMC to identify these new ticks. It's noteworthy because it's the first time we've seen this tick in New York. The tick is normally a native to Australia, New Zealand, and Eastern Asia, but it's been recently found in New Jersey, Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, and Arkansas. Like other ticks, it needs a blood meal to survive. The longhorn tick can feed on sheep, cattle, horses, dogs, cats, and humans. It is predominantly a livestock issue. This tick can replicate itself without the presence of a male tick. It kind of clones itself. And it can survive for a long time on a blood meal. The best way to protect yourself against all ticks is avoid exposing your skin in places where ticks are likely to be. When you go hiking, stay in the center pathway and avoid brushing up against the vegetation on the side of the pathway. Ticks stay very low to the ground, and they like to grab onto people and animals that brush up against them. So the best way to protect yourself against all ticks is to stay on clean pathways when you're hiking or walking in the woods. And before you spend any time on a grassy or wooded surfaces, there are 3 things that you should do. You should wear light colored clothing, and the reason for that is it makes the tick easier for you to spot. Obviously, if I was wearing black trousers like this gentleman here, I would not be able to see ticks that might be crawling on my pants leg. You need to wear long sleeve shirts and long pants, and you want to tuck your pants into your socks. Kind of pull your socks up over the top. That prevents the tick from getting underneath the pant leg, crawling up onto your skin. It kind of creates a barrier for the tick. And we would suggest that you use a repellent. And please follow the labels for the repellents. The most common repellents that we would be advising people to use would be DEET, picaridin, and IR3535. So DEET, picaridin, and IR3535. We want you to check yourself frequently for ticks, and if you see ticks on your clothing, brush them off. You need to check, if you're going to be outdoors like today and you were out hiking, you would want to check yourself multiple times for ticks. Don't just wait till the end of your activity and then start looking for ticks, because by that time they may have attached to your skin. They may already be getting a blood meal on from you. If a tick does attach, we don't want you to panic. It takes, for most diseases, the tick needs to be on your skin about 48 hours before they can transmit a disease to you. If you find a tick, how you remove a tick is very, very important. So what you want to do is you want to have a very sharp pair of tweezers like these. You want to get the tweezers right underneath the head of the tick and then apply gentle pressure and slowly extract the tick. You want to do it this way because you do not want to break the head, the mouth parts of the tick off into your skin, because if you do, an infection could occur there, and you could also squeeze whatever is in that tick into your body. So you want to, again, just gently squeeze the head and pull it off. Don't grab the tick by the body of the tick. It's got to be right at the head and gently squeeze. You want to use a very fine tweezer, as I have here. After you get the tick off, it's a really good idea to place it in a container. You can put rubbing alcohol in the container, if you have a little jar or something, because then if a couple days you get a red mark, you start feeling sick, it'd be very good for your doctor to know what kind of tick bit you. And so if you see your doctor, take your tick with you. Ticks can carry disease, such as Lyme disease, ehrlichiosis, and anaplasmosis. To date, there have been no reported cases of human disease associated with the longhorn tick in the United States. As a health department, we will remain vigilant and continue to monitor for human cases related to this particular tick. Sorry. If you have problems, you should contact your healthcare provider immediately if you develop any kind of a rash or flu-like symptoms that are associated with a known tick bite. And at home, there are a few things you can do to protect your family, you and your family, when you're going out into your yard. First, keep your grass cut very short. And second, remove any debris that can create a moisture barrier. Ticks like piles of leaves. They like piles of grass. They want areas where it's moist and dark, and they love those kind of areas. So try not to have those. You don't want to grow any more ticks in your yard than you need to. And finally, create a 3-foot barrier of wood chips between your yard and any wooded or densely vegetative areas. If you do go on a hike or an outdoor activity, I would suggest that you place your clothes in a hot dryer for about 10 minutes. The heat, it's not the washing of the clothes that will kill a tick, it's actually the heat. So they need to be placed in a hot dryer for about 10 minutes. That will effectively kill any ticks that you might be bringing on into your home on the fabric of your clothing. So yes, we have one more tick to look for him when we're out in the woods. As I said, luckily so far this tick has not caused any human disease in the United States. We will continue to monitor for human illness and remain vigilant. So we need the public to try to prevent any kind of tick bite. And if you follow these few steps, visit our website. There's lots of information on our website. I think you can go out and have a wonderful, wonderful summer in all of our beautiful parks in Westchester County. Yes, ma'am.
How do you know that the Longhorn Tick is in Westchester County?
Because there is both Westchester County Department of Health and the Calder Center tests. They go out and they run little bags, burlap bags, through densely vegetated areas. They collect the ticks and they test them for disease. So in doing that, they have noticed a new species of tick, which is the Asia Longhorn Tick.
So that's who did the sampling?
I'm not exactly sure which of those two agencies first located the tick. I don't know that.
And where was the sample taken?
They have not given me that information either. The issue of this is, you know, when you find one tick, you can guarantee that there are more ticks. I do know the tick was found in multiple locations in Westchester County. So I think this is an alert that everyone in Westchester just needs to be aware this tick may be out there and they need to protect themselves and their family against it. So
the report from
New York State Health Department?
State Health Department came from multiple sampling sources?
That I can't answer. You would have to talk to New York State Health Department.
The incidence of human disease, while we don't know of any in the U.S., what types of disease are we talking about elsewhere?
Well, in Asia, it has been known to cause an infection that results in a high fever and low platelet counts. There's some theoretical data that it might be able to carry Lyme disease, but we've not had any cases, so I don't know that for certain. So I think what we have to do is wait and see. You know, we're going, you know, maybe once, if there are sufficient populations and we start getting people bitten by these, we'll really know. We have to monitor that. I can't answer those questions now because I don't have any data to support my answer to you.
And what about the threat to livestock?
That seems to be the primary concern with this tick, because this tick replicates itself asexually. So animals can literally have hundreds to thousands of ticks on them, and that can create real problems for the animals. But the good news is that our traditional insecticides that we've used, the traditional methods that we've used to keep ticks off of our animals, seems to work for this particular tick. So if people have, you know, expensive livestock, or they have dogs and pets that they're concerned about, I would have a conversation with their veterinarian. The State Health Department has has been in contact. My understanding is they've been in discussion with the veterinarians in the state to alert them to the fact that this tick is out there and what needs to be done. And also Ags and Market, if you check the state's press release, there is a number on there for Ags and Market, and they also have veterinarians that are available to answer questions related to this.
So if you're your pet owner, you can use the regular tick medication that.
Absolutely. We're not telling you should do what you've always done that has been successful in keeping ticks from your pets. So whatever you've done in the past is what you should continue to do. This tick seems to be susceptible to the same products that have always been used. So that's the good news. So like I said, it's just one more tick. And right now we have no human disease to report. We're just letting people know that there's a new species of tick out there. And I think the real issue is that it is a livestock problem, and so we need to be aware of it for our animals that are outdoors.
How large is the tick?
The tick, when it's fully engorged, is about the size of a pea, so it's fairly small.
But visible.
Visible. It is visible. Yes, I would say it's easily visible.
Even at first sight.
I think they're sufficiently large enough for you to see them. I mean, now that's an adult tick. Of course, nymphs are always much smaller than adult ticks. Lymphs are harder to see because they're substantially smaller. And so for a nymph, you do have to be a little bit more observant. But that's, again, why you want to wear light clothing when you're out of doors, so you can see them on your clothing. And, you know, they do crawl, they do move. So if you see something dark on your clothing moving, I'd be concerned it's a tick.
What kind of problem does this tick cause in livestock?
You know, I'm a medical doctor. I'm not a veterinarian, so I'm not the best person to answer that question. I would really have to defer that to Ags and Market.
As far as Westchester County goes, the numbers that come out of the state shows that Westchester County has the highest density of ticks. As far as the numbers came out, I think within the last year. Is this announcement of this new type of tick found in Westchester County just part of a broader campaign to make people aware of it? Are there any special measures that Westchester is taking in order to make people more vigilant? Any signs that are in particular parks, or will there be a notice posted that that type of tick has been found in that park?
Well, if you go to our website, every summer we put out information about both ticks and mosquitoes because they do carry disease, and we are a health department and we are trying to prevent disease. So we try to make people understand what they need to do to protect themselves against both of these, both mosquitoes and ticks. So, you know, I would visit our website, and there's all kinds of information on there about it. I don't know yet what parks, if they're planning to do anything. I have not had an opportunity to discuss this with them. But as I said, right now it's just one more new tick. We have lots of ticks, as you just said. And the important thing is to protect yourself when you go out. You know, I'm not saying that people shouldn't go out, shouldn't have a good time in their parks. I'm just saying you need to be vigilant, and there are certain things you need to do when you conclude your activities.
It just doesn't seem fair to a pet owner or even a person that you wouldn't disclose or post outside of a park that a new type of tick has been found in that park. Just happened yesterday.
That information right now rests with the state. I'm sure that the state is still trying to figure out what exactly and where exactly this tick is. I mean, this has just occurred. So it's going to take us a little time, take the state health department a little time. But we're telling you what we know. We're telling you what we know.
How long does tick season last?
Well, ticks survive year-round, but this particular tick likes warmer weather, but when it was found in New Jersey, because it has been found in New Jersey, they did find that it was able to overwinter there. So they're less active in the winter months.
Is it known how it got to these parks?
No, absolutely not. Have no idea.
There was a study that came out, well, it got news coverage yesterday, but it came out in a respected journal from Europe. Researchers looked at blood types to see if ticks liked certain blood types, and they found that a tick placed in the presence of the 4 blood types, 36% of the time went towards the type A blood drop. Is that something that you think is worth further study as we try to better understand ticks and who they're attracted to and how they're attracted and what we can do to kind of keep them off of us.
Well, I always think information is a valuable thing, but having not read the study or seen the study, I really can't comment on it. I think,
Is there a lot of research like that out there that's going on?
it's all kinds of research that goes on around ticks and tick bites, but I'm not personally familiar with that study, so I really couldn't comment on it. There's one last thing I would remind you also that Westchester Medical Center does have a tick clinic that they hold on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursday evenings from 5 to 7. Doesn't require an appointment, and if you're over the age of 18, you can simply walk in, bring your tick if you have it. They can help you identify what type of tick it is, as well as they can send the tick for testing to see if it's carrying any diseases. And if appropriate, they have physicians there who can decide whether or not further treatment is warranted. And that runs through sometime in late August, I think.
Have you had any discussions about it being anywhere else in New York? Have you heard it at all?
This is the first sighting of this tick in New York State, which is why we're here today.
And how long ago was the sample taken?
I don't know.
Can you just hold up the pictures you have of the ticks?
Oh, I photoed, I'm sorry. So like I said, if you pull a tick off of you and you're concerned, you can take it to the tick clinic, or you can take it to your physician. But the best advice I can give you is don't get to that point. Do the measures that we've told you about and try to prevent ticks from having the time to make an attachment onto your skin.
How long is the incubation period for a tick-borne disease? When does it start showing?
That would vary with the disease, and since this tick right now in the United States has not been associated with any diseases, I don't know what the incubation period would be, because I don't even know what the disease would be. So that's going to take more time, more surveillance.
Thank you.
All right? Thank you.